Hi, we're Joy and Larry, and we're living life loud. During the summer of 2022, we rode our motorcycles from Arizona to Alaska. Come join our journey.
In this episode, we travel from Valdez to Haines, riding 700 miles over the course of 3 days. This trip takes us back into the Canadian Yukon, where we ride the roughest section of the Alaskan highway. The only way to get to and from Valdez is the Richardson Highway, which starts in Haines Junction. We typically don't like backtracking, but the views traveling into Valdez were so amazing, we knew it would be just as gorgeous on the way back. And we got to see things from a totally different perspective. Tonight we are staying in a cabin at Young's Motel in Tok and eating at the famous Fast Eddie's restaurant. Young's Motel is very popular among motorcyclists traveling the Alaska Highway. Fast Eddie's is well known for their pizza and salad bar. We thought the pizza was just okay, but the salad bar was actually really good. Our accommodations this evening. Yeah? Sorry. Such a cute, quaint little cabin. We've had some very interesting accommodations in Alaska and Canada. This is actually, this one's actually pretty nice compared to some of the others we stayed in. Today's ride takes us 290 miles from Tok, Alaska to Haines Junction in the Yukon. We bypassed this section of highway on our way up when we detoured north to Dawson City. We had heard the section of road between Beaver Creek and Destruction Bay was the roughest section of the Alaskan highway, so we were quite curious how bad it really was. Looks like it's a long line too, huh? Eh? Once we arrived at the Canadian border crossing, we came upon a very long line of cars and waited more than an hour. It gave us an opportunity to take a break and meet other travelers, including RVers and other motorcyclists. What'd she say? Florida.
Florida. How long are you planning to be in Canada?
Just a day.
Day.
Haines to get on a ferry.
Okay. I'll just need both of you to remove the sunglasses. I can work with the outlet, but I need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're just gonna be there tonight, or you're spending the night in Haines Junction?
Haines Junction tonight, and then Haines tomorrow to get on a ferry.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're both fully vaccinated?
Yes.
Did you complete the RideCan app?
Yes.
You have the QR code for that?
On my phone, yep. Will a picture work? I screenshotted. I did. I didn't know if it would work, but I did. I figured that would be fastest if it worked.
Or TWOPK. Perfect, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's for the two of you, right?
No, he did his separate because we didn't know we could come through together.
Okay, and any alcohol or tobacco with you?
No,
Any cannabis or cannabis products?
no,
Any firearms or weapons?
no,
And more than 10,000 Canadian in cash or check?
no.
No? That one is yours and yours. You're all set, okay?
Okay, thank you. We encountered the rough section of road we were warned about, which included many gravel sections and potholes that slowed us down a bit. Despite the road conditions, we thoroughly enjoyed the scenery. We had difficulties initially finding accommodations for this evening, but lucked into a room at the Cozy Corner Motel and Restaurant. It was recently bought by an Asian lady and her son who run the motel and restaurant. We enjoyed meeting them and hearing their story. The restaurant offers both American and Asian cuisine. We enjoyed our stay and highly recommend it. Today's ride is 150 miles from Haines Junction to Haines and takes us back into Alaska. It is hard to believe that today is our last day in Alaska before we head back to the lower 48. It has been a whirlwind trip of a lifetime. I have so many mixed feelings, wishing we could stay longer, but also exhausted and ready to be home. Let's get off the road.
So we're on our way to Haines, actually our last leg in Alaska, and the temperature keeps dropping and we're freezing. So we just had to pull over
The second time.
to put our heated gear on. I don't know, I guess we're climbing in altitude and it's like now 52 degrees, and on top of that it's very, very windy. And we're both just freezing. It's actually our second stop on this road today to add layers. But now it's time for the heated gear.
Yeah. Just laughing yesterday, we were sweating like crazy because it was hot. Always good to have extra layers.
This is actually a really pretty ride. I didn't expect it to be this pretty. Joy, show everybody real quick how you keep warm. How do you plug that into your motorcycle?
Well, I have this handy dandy cord that's hooked to my jacket, and I plug it into the tender on my bike. So they just plug in like this, and then I turn on my bike. Show you. And then press this handy little button, hold it down, and voila, we have heat. Hi. Good, how are you?
Doing good.
Good. Are you going to work with me? Or is he?
That's my wife. We're both U.S. citizens.
Oh, you're seeing for the passport?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I missed it.
It's okay. Well, I got the intercom,
Yeah.
so I'm hearing him, and I wasn't sure what I was supposed to be doing.
I can see your face. Okay.
Got it? My nose is running too. Oh.
You guys are all set. Enjoy the rest.
Thank you. The trip wouldn't be complete without at least one more road construction area. This section of road had recently flooded due to snow melting. It had already been rebuilt, but flooded again, so they decided to start from scratch and make the road even higher. Our accommodations while we are in Haines. It's a very nice room. We have a fridge and a microwave. And a jacuzzi hot tub. And Larry just informed me that they left me a bath bomb. How cool is that? And then this is our awesome view.
See you guys, I'm trying to keep you guys busy, so I'm doing out and out.
We awoke this morning to a phone call from the ferry terminal informing us that our ferry was delayed 12 hours. Despite the rain and cold weather, we set out to take in some sights and make the most of our extra time in Haines. The first place we explored was a historical Army base known as Fort Seward. It provided a policing presence for miners moving into gold mining areas in the Alaska interior and provided a military presence during negotiations over the nearby international border with Canada. It is named after William Seward, U.S. Secretary of State, who oversaw the Alaska Purchase. The homes you see here are old officer quarters with the parade field on the right. Yeah, I know. Next up was visiting Chilkoot Lake State Park. We were told that sometimes you can see brown bears catching salmon this time of year at the park. Although we didn't see any bears, it was such a beautiful ride. Our Alaskan motorcycle adventure is coming to an end. In the final episode, we'll take you on board the ferry with us and show you what it's like over the next 3 days as we travel back to Washington State. We will also be doing an overview of our trip with statistics, tips, and tricks, as well as answering some of your most asked questions. If you have a question you'd like for us to answer, comment below and we'll do our best to answer it. See you on the final episode.